This week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, action from the NorCal final football games and early season basketball. In football, you'll see Ripon Christian and Houston play for a NorCal title. Grant looks for its second NorCal championship, and Escalon goes for its third.
Boys basketball has Oakmont taking on Bella Vista. Girls basketball featuring Houston and Enox, plus the story of the Rodriguez girls basketball team and the sudden passing of a teammate. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Braunstein. We start tonight down in San Jose, where the Vanden Vikings play for the Division IIIA NorCal title. Vanden is the back-to-back section champs, looking to end its season just like the 2021 season with a state title.
Yep, the Vikings were NorCal and state champions last season and returned many players from last year's team, including quarterback Trey Dimes. The Vikings taking on Bellarmine from San Jose for the NorCal title on Saturday night. The Vanden Vikings taking a trip south to San Jose to take on Bellarmine in the NorCal Division IIIA title game. In the first, fourth down, a missed snap brings the ball into the end zone. John Rainey picks it up, punts it out of bounds. The Vikings settle for a field goal. That's a 36-yarder for Rafael Ortiz-Velez, 3-0 Vanden after one. Bellarmine gets on the board in the second quarter. Nate Escalada hands it off to Ben Pfaff, who plows into the end zone, and 4 minutes later, it's deja vu. Escalada with the handoff to Pfaff again. He stays on his feet this time, 14-3 Bells. Bellarmine would score once more before the half. Escalada calls his own number. Nate shoots right up the center, and he is gone. 55-yard score for the senior, 21-3 Bellarmine at the break. Third quarter, Vanden looking to its air game like it's done all season, but Billy Ladd steps right in front of that pass, and this is going to be a pick six. Bellarmine, through the rain, is doing the absolute most. The offense gets on the board once more on the next drive. Escalada with a pass deep in the end zone to Sean McGuire. Vanden scores its first touchdown with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Dimes scrambling before hitting Leon Robinson. That's a 13-yard score. Dimes then with another dime to Robinson for 6 more, but the Bellarmine Bells create a deficit just too much to overcome. Bellarmine takes home the NorCal championship. Vanden finishes with a 12-2 record. The Bells will face Laguna Hills for the state title.
Garrison reporting here, where Rio Americano boys basketball will be hosting Fairfield in the 47th annual Jack Scott tournament. Let's get started with Dylan Newberry poking the ball to cause a steal. Hunter Howell picks it up and kicks up ahead to Newberry, who gets a layup off the glass. Then it's Jace Thompson kicking to Newberry, who passes it back to a cutting Thompson and gets a layup and the foul. 16-0 Raiders lead with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. But then it's Rashad Holt who stops the bleeding and scores a first bucket for the Falcons with a tough driving fadeaway. Next, it's Newberry finding Luke Mason, who splashes the three-pointer, and it's 22-6 Raiders lead after the first. More Mason, this time he jab steps and lines that three-pointer up. Rio Americano in the groove right now. Then Thompson to Newberry to Miles Lake, back to Thompson, who finds a cutting Howell for the backdoor layup. Great ball movement by the Raiders, and they lead 40-16 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Falcons still fighting. Holt making another tough shot over the defense. However, Thompson looking like Klay Thompson out there because he splashes another three-pointer. This time is Newberry finding Thompson again, and that's butter. 46-18 Raiders lead. Now it's Mason and Howell applying pressure and causing a steal, and Lake on the fast break flips it back to Powell, who lays it in, and it's 51-28 at the half. Rio Americano leads. Nicio Ignacio trying to spark Fairfield with a nice pull-up three-pointer, but it's the Raiders' night. Thompson with the steal and pushing the pace up the floor and drops it off to Howell, who lays it in with the defender on him. 68-28 after 3 quarters in the Raiders lead. Liam Maraca to DeAndre Walton to Jordan Bata, who nails the shot from three-point land. Great swing pass by the Raiders. Finally, it's Bata to Walton, causing the turnover, and it's Walton with the one-handed dime piece to Eric Ng, who hits the layup in transition. The final is 84-36. Rio Americano wins it. Thompson had 21 points.
Out to the NorCal Tip-Off Classic in Rockland in the Thunder student section. Well, it was packed for a preseason game against rival Del Oro. Rockland's freshman Josiah Andrews let himself be known to everyone rather early on, drilling this three-pointer, and the Thunder lead it early. Then Rockland's Brendan Ferrero drives up the key and scoop shots this one in as the Thunder blow this first half lead way up and lead by 20 near the end of the first half. With time winding down the first half, Del Oro not giving up at all. Alex Kime with the lay-in right before the buzzer. Dio down 17. Third quarter now, and the Thunder are off and running again. Andrews with the no-look pass that ends up going off the backboard. And look who's there. Mark Lavernoff, the catch and the flush. More from these two as Andrews to Lavernoff, who lays it in. Rockland by 25. When Del Oro's Cole Kelly finds Brandon Hill at the top of the key. His set shot three-pointer, splash! Hill led the team in scoring. Then Jackson Gent does a little shake him up, shake him up, shake him up, shake him, pulls up and throws this three in the ocean. Splash! Rockland by 21. Andrews attacking again. The shot is a bit short, but he pulls down his own miss and lays it back in. He finished with 18. Check out Del Oro's Jake Williams finding Micah Woodard on the cut to the hoop. His scoop shot is in. Nice play there by the senior. Then Rockland's Ferrero drives to the hoop, sees Jordan Sabagala with the backdoor cut, and his reverse layup is good. And the Thunder win big at home. Lavernoff with 20 for Rockland, and Hill had 16 for D.O.
Brian Mueller saying hello from Placerville Thursday night as defending sectional champion Colfax opens their season on the road at El Dorado. Less than 3 minutes in, Samantha Reedy Platt slips a nice through ball to Kaya Diedericks. And when you're the Falcons' single-season goal-scoring record holder, that's just about automatic, 1-0. But the Cougars claw back late in the half. It may still be fall, but winter is coming in a hurry, as in Winter Radican as she chases the ball down and scores, and we are even at 1 apiece. Still first half, Diedericks on the attack again. How about this finish from the sophomore? She has both Falcons goals, and it's 2-1. Then it's Alexis Gurad playing it to the middle. This travels a long way until it finds the foot of Sonia Daves, and Colfax takes a 3-1 lead into the half. 5 minutes into the second, Courtney Reese forces a turnover, then Lily Patrick plays it right back to her, and Reese capitalizes to put the Falcons up 4-1. Less than 3 minutes later, Diedericks coming down the right wing, crosses to Carly Patrick, and the Falcons are flying away with it. Diedericks looking for the hat trick late in the half, rips one on net, the save is made, but Lily Patrick there to put it back. And speaking of hat tricks, Lily would score the final 3 Colfax goals to give her one. The Falcons open the season in fine fashion with an 8-1 win.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Blake Nicholson from Manteca. The Buffaloes took home its second straight section title last week behind a 6-touchdown game from Blake. He had 31 rushes, 3 catches, tallying up nearly 300 total yards. The Florida State commit also had an interception on defense.
Pretty big game for him. Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Jacob Olson from Oak Ridge. The Trojans taking on Sacramento last week, losing out on a last-second buzzer beater, but Jacob scored 50 of his team's 73 points. Not a bad way to kick off his senior season. Jacob Olson and Blake Nicholson, this week's Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
My name is Dylan Saucedo from Casa Roble High School, and here's this week's Clean Power City Tip. Unplug small appliances and electronics, like coffee makers and printers when not in use. These items continue using power as long as they're plugged in. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first SunPower Electric game, Folsom and Dave LaSalle.
Then we head to the hardwood for Houston and Enoch's girls hoops. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
At Tracy Toyota, we're not just devoted to selling cars. We're committed to our community. We're donating $100,000 to help local organizations in Tracy. We call it Champions Thinking Heroes, like the Seeds of Life Center, who serves the local community. We're even donating $50 for every vehicle sold. Shop our great lineup of new Toyotas in person or at tracytoyota.com. Our certified used cars come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo. We've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF Niners, we just win. SF Niners, we just
Our first SunPower Electric game tonight is giving us serious deja vu. Folsom and De La Salle played for the NorCal title last season. The Bulldogs took home the win on the road, making it to the state title game.
The two powerhouse programs playing for the title again this season. This time, the Bulldogs get to host the Spartans. Folsom looking for its 6th NorCal title in our SunPower Electric game. Our Nick Pecoraro was there.
Electric game.
That's right, it's been nearly a year to the day since Folsom beat De La Salle for the first time last year to reach the state championship game. The Bulldogs are obviously hoping for a repeat result in tonight's SunPower Electric game. With 30 straight North Coast Section championships and 7 state titles, the star crop from this Spartan team features Fresno State-bound running back Charles Greer, among many others. A 4-time state champ in its own right, Folsom is a little banged up, but stepping up in the section title win last week were running back Donovan Parler and defensive back Slade Wilson. Remember, Folsom has a 2-game win streak against the Spartans after a win earlier this season. Will De La Salle cement its status as the team to beat, or are we witnessing a shift in the balance of football power in Northern California? Find out right now in our SunPower Electric game. All Folsom wants for Christmas is a NorCal championship, but the Spartans from Concord stand in their way. Midway through the first, De La Salle driving until Folsom's Greco Carrillo strips the ball loose, and the San Jose State-bound senior takes it back to the crib, 48 yards at 7-0 Bulldogs. Spartans answer on the first play of the second. Derek Blanche gets a huge block from TCU-bound lineman Cooper Powers, and we're all square at 7. Spencer Bryan then boots a 39-yard field goal to give Sparty a 10-7 lead with 1:42 left in the half, but De La Salle's not done. A Jonathan Guerrero interception leads to this short TD run from Charles Greer. He loses a shoe, but he keeps De La Salle in front, 17-7 at the half. Fast forward to the fourth. Spartans go with a trick play, but it backfires as Arian Smith wrestles away an interception, and now Folsom has some life. On the ensuing drive, QB Austin Mack heaves this ball up to Brian Ray III. An amazing catch from Ray. Here it is one more time in slow-mo, and the Bulldogs are in business. The next play, Mack gets it to Carrillo. He's juking, he's nuking, he's doing everything that he can to score, but he comes up just shy of the goal line, but his teammates have his back. Freshman Ryder Lyons with a touchdown. That's Walker's kid brother, and it's 17-14. Closing minute, Folsom needs a stop, but Greer bursts forward, and then the chains come out. And it's just enough for De La Salle to end Folsom's season at 12-2 and advance to its 15th state championship game.
It feels awesome, being able to, beat them for our past seniors last year. I remember the quarterback last year, Luke Durman. He told me, "Don't let this happen to you." I took that to heart, and it definitely translated.
With our SunPower Electric game, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Tipping off our first girls basketball coverage tonight with Houston hosting Enox. In the first, Olivia Five-Ash passes up ahead to Alexandra Gerke. One dribble and the lay-in for the senior Huskies out to a 9-0 start. Madison Holbrook is able to come up with a loose ball with just under a minute left. Talia Adoko gets control of it, then pulls up, hits the mid-range jumper, 9-2 Houston after 1. In the second, Five-Ash controls the rebound. Olivia then slings it up ahead to Jessie Duran. Duran making her way to the rack, a couple dribbles. She kisses it off the glass. Huskies with a 17-point lead at the half. And Houston's tear continues. Five-Ash feeds Duran in the corner. Jessie hits for 3. She would finish the night with 13 points. Gerke would lead the game with 19. Olivia serving up Gerke's jumper there. Alex would also lead with 12 rebounds. Enox keeps fighting. Lindsay Strong's first shot is blocked, but she follows it, jukes off a defender, lays it in. Charlie Botley is next. She pulls up at the free throw line, a bounce off the rim, and that shot lands. But this game was all Huskies. We cap off the highlights with a Houston fast break. Jessie Duran with a steal. Mandy Brady knocks it loose, but Michaela Bleakley gets it. Gerke down low to Juliana Rocha, and 1. Houston wins it 62-35 to improve to 3-0 on the year. Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Stephen Weiss with this week's health tip.
Most people who play a contact sport, particularly football, have experienced a stinger or burner at some point. This is also referred to as dead arm syndrome. Getting a stinger puts you at a 3-time risk for having another one in the future. Stingers are most commonly caused by a direct blow to the shoulder or head, which causes stretching of the nerves. It usually presents as temporary tingling or numbness in the arm, but can also present with weakness, usually in the muscles of your shoulder or your bicep. Symptoms usually resolve within a couple of minutes, but can last much longer. You can return to play as soon as symptoms have completely gone away and you have full strength and normal range of motion.
Coming up, Oakmont and Bella Vista in tournament play.
But first, take a look at our Sac-Joaquin section top 10 girls basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Brought your baseball glove to basketball practice that turned out to be football practice? Game on, junk sleep. During Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $700 on select mattresses. Plus, get a free adjustable base. Shop now at Mattress Firm, the official sleep partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
Welcome back to Levi Stadium. The Bella Vista boys basketball team is coming off its best season since 2012. Dylan Harms is back on the floor for his senior season. In the first 2 games, Dylan is averaging 24.5 points a game.
The Broncos meeting Oakmont in the West Park tournament Thursday night. Oakmont fell just short of a league title last year, finishing with a 19-9 overall record. Some fresh faces on this year's Viking team, like senior guard Ryu DeCina. It's the Vikings and Broncos in Roseville.
Nick Pecoraro at West Park on Thursday. It's a first-round game of the West Park Classic. Bella Vista squaring off with Oakmont. First quarter, Broncos senior Dylan Harms doing work under the glass, cleaning up his own miss to get Bella Vista going. And then off another offensive rebound, it's Etney Topet who gets the putback plus the foul. Broncos in charge early. But here come the Vikings. Hayden Ricci out of the corner gets it back to Shane Bear on the wing. That shot's wet. And then on the next Oakmont possession, Ryu DeCina gets into the paint and shows off a nice little turnaround fade, but Bella Vista leads 14-7 after 1. Second quarter, Dylan Harms with the rejection, but he helps up his opponent. He's a good sport and a gentleman. Vikes get the ball back. Thomas Dutro finds Eli Hester for an open corner 3, but Bella Vista was in a groove on Thursday. This possession sees all 5 Broncos touch the ball to work it inside to Harms, who again cleans up his own miss. BV up 34-12 at the break. Third quarter, Damian Rickett pushing and finding Etney Topet under the hoop and 1. And then Topet goes back to work in the post. He scored 8 straight points for the Broncos in the third on his way to a game-high 23. More pressure from Bella Vista. Rickett jumps the passing lane and gets an easy bucket. He had 11 for the Broncos, but Oakmont is not lying down. Shane Bear gives us a nifty little spin move in the paint for 2, but Bella Vista had some paint moves of its own. Varda Singh stuck on the baseline, but he finds Dylan Harms moving without the ball. Nice feed from Singh, and then Harms from the corner. Oh, I never meant to cause you trouble. No, I never meant to do you harm. I can't believe I just went Coldplay right there. Anywho, Broncos win their 4th straight to open the season.
The Rodriguez girls basketball team looks for a return trip to the postseason in 2023, but the Mustangs will have to do so without an important member of their team.
Our Nick Pecoraro has a story on how the Rodriguez girls basketball team plans to keep alive the memory of their friend and former teammate who was gone way too soon.
While there's certainly an up-tempo pace to the Rodriguez girls basketball practice, Mustang players and coaches know that something is missing. A teammate and a friend.
I think basketball gets them through it a lot. You know, be there for each other. I think that's what basketball does for a lot of people, is brings them unity and togetherness.
Junior Alexandria Robinson was supposed to make her varsity debut this season.
She's going to play a major role for our program this year. She was going to be our 6 foot in the middle, you know, help as much as possible, rebound, block shots, a lot of defensive efforts.
Until the unthinkable happened just 2 months shy of her 16th birthday.
We knew at birth that she had sickle cell anemia.
Any moment she can go into a sickle cell crisis and needs emergency care. This last time when she went into a crisis on Labor Day, there was no indication that this was different than any other crisis that she had. She said she had a headache. He went to go lay her down, and 5 minutes later, we go back to check on her as I'm, trying to make a phone call, and she wasn't there anymore.
Every parent's worst nightmare, and the toughest message Coach Palmer has ever had to deliver to any of his teams.
Our coach called us into a room with all the teammates and stuff. Everybody thought we were in trouble at first.
And I'm sitting there telling them, I'm sitting there thinking I have to give them the worst news in the world right now.
It felt like a dream, like a nightmare. I felt like my soul had just left my body. I ran out of the room and was just screaming and crying and saying, I'm sorry, I wish I was there.
It's probably the worst thing I had to do in my life when it comes to that.
Alexandria may be gone, but to the Mustangs, her legacy lives on.
Me personally, I think there should be a big poster at the school. We're gonna represent her as much as we can. We're not gonna let her name die. We're not gonna be sad. We're gonna be happy for her. She's definitely on everybody's mind all the time, especially after getting the warm-ups. It really made everybody smile. I'm 100% sure everybody still thinks about her.
We haven't forgot about her at all. Every day we think about her. We put the Long Live Alex Robinson right here on our shirts this year. So, we think about her every day. Next year when she's supposed to graduate, they're gonna have her name announced at the graduation. So her she's never gonna be forgotten, not around here. As long as I'm here at the school, we're always gonna have the LLAR on our shirts. Never gonna forget about her.
A goofball of a friend, a talented dancer, an active member of the Rodriguez Black Student Union, and an aspiring photographer are just a portion of who Alexandria was.
It makes me feel good in a sense that this is where she wanted to be, and her friends acknowledge that, and they've been very supportive, and it's like we're all feeling the same kind of pain.
Rodriguez High School helped alleviate some of that pain by honoring Alexandria's life at a recent football game.
Of course, it's sad, but it was a very proud moment to know that we raised a person who contributed to society that other people acknowledged, and other people are missing her and longing for her and hurting for her just like we are.
And of course, Alexandria's former Mustang teammates continue to help the Robinson family heal, one game and practice at a time.
She touched so many people. Her flower is still growing. It's still growing every day. She was very inspiring, touched a lot of people.
Reporting from Fairfield, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Just like Coach Palmer said, as long as he is at Rodriguez, Alexandria's name will never be forgotten. Rodriguez High School is working with Alexandria's parents to create a scholarship in her name for aspiring photographers and journalists.
Fantastic. All right, coming up, the Matches for Imperfect Match. Section opponents Houston and Ripon Christian meet for the Division V AA North Power title.
Then we'll see the Rodriguez girls basketball team in action against El Dorado. But first, here's this week's Spirit Corner featuring the cheer team from Sonora.
Trevor was born a champion. He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes, when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF-Niners, we just win. SF-Niners, we just win. I'm from that field. I'm from that field. I'm from that field.
49ers Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers. We are back with tonight's Mattress Firm Perfect Match, and we jump back into NorCal football with Sac Joaquin's section opponents Houston and Ripon Christian playing for the Division 5 AA title. Ripon Christian features an awesome air game. Receiver Griffin De Abreu has over 700 receiving yards on the year and 18 touchdowns from quarterback Trey Fasani.
Yeah, and Houston is coming off a section championship after a thrilling 1-point win over Somerville. Sophomore quarterback Robert McDaniel likes to throw the ball as well. Houston hosts Ripon Christian in the Division 5 AA NorCal Championships in this week's Mattress Firm Perfect Match.
Standing room only as the whole town of Houston packs into the Husky Memorial Stadium for the Division 5 AA NorCal title game. Ripon Christian quiets down the Huskies early. Derek Van Elderen gets a shoveled pass. Great blocks from his teammates, and Derek is able to give the Knights their first lead of the night. 7-0 RC after 1 in the second. Houston now driving. Robert McDaniel rolling to his left, an off-balance pass to David Delgado, and David rams through a defender, breaking the plane. This game is all tied up. But on the next night possession, Fasani takes a few drop steps before launching one deep. Eli Terpsma hauls it in, finds his way to the end zone. Ripon Christian snatches the lead right back. It's 14-10 after a Husky field goal, and on the ensuing kickoff, Brady Grons is the one to return it for the Knights, and he does just that. Brady returns it all the way to the house. An 80-yard house call to make it an 11-point game at the half, and the Knights would lead it by 18 in the third. Things just go in RC's way. Ethan McGovern comes up with a huge interception late in the third, and the momentum beginning to shift, though. The Huskies come up with an interception of their own. Liam Bridgeford steps right in front of that pass. Liam with a big second half. The Husky drive picks up in the fourth, and Bridgeford plows into the end zone. It's still a two-possession game. 4 minutes left. McDaniel with a pass up the middle to David Delgado. He is wide open. He needs to get to the end zone to keep enough time on the clock for another possession, and David runs like the wind. He is in there just like that. It's a 3-point game. The Huskies defense gets a stop. So here's the offense. This is on 4th and long, folks. Possibly the play of the game as McDaniel finds Malachi Sumter, who hauls it in to get the first down. The Huskies still out of field goal range, but not for long. Bridgeford gets a handoff, makes a sharp cut to his right. Liam makes it all the way to the 7-yard line. Huskies now down to the 1. Alex Villarreal is given the honors, and Houston has its first lead of the night with 11 seconds left on the clock. Ripon Christian with enough time for one long play. It's a Hail Mary deep into the end zone, and Delgado catches it to seal the win. Houston takes home its first NorCal title in school history after an 18-point fourth quarter comeback. Here is David Delgado.
We went down ourselves in the first half, but we came back and battled, and that's what happens in a playoff game. You guys got to battle. You'll get punched in your mouth, and you just got to punch right back. We showed it today that we can fight back. Now it's on to state.
Nick Pecoraro with some Tuesday night girls hoops. El Dorado taking on Rodriguez in Fairfield. First quarter, Cougar sophomore Alana Schneider with a nice mid-range pull-up jumper. And the Mustangs answer back as their sophomore, Mia Marquez, goes coast to coast for the offhand lay-in. And the Mustangs working the ball around the perimeter now. Maria Vaughn swings it to her twin sister, Renaya Vaughn, who launches a three. Cash is accepted everywhere, and we're all tied at 9 after the first quarter. Second quarter, Rodriguez with the full court pressure, Thaisa Chappelle with the steal, and the feed to Renaya Vaughn under the hoop for 2. Mustangs take a brief lead before El Dorado's Callie Cusick leads the break and gets into the paint for a bucket. And then senior Ava Porter loses the ball for a second, but sophomore teammate Aaliyah Hardwin has her back. With this bucket, the Cougars go up by 1. And then Regan Smalley beating her defender from the top of the key, and El Dorado starting to find its groove. Rodriguez fires back, Luna Perez with the dish, and Dina Sharkawi with the swish, but El Dorado takes an 8-point lead into the locker room. Third quarter. Mustangs on the press again. Samantha Morris comes up with the steal and looks ahead to Maria Vaughn, but El Dorado claps back as Hardwin cleans up the glass right here. Hardwin had a huge game on the boards Tuesday night. And then here she is again, working the pick and pop with Regan Smalley, and the Cougars extend their lead to 10 entering the fourth. Mustangs trying for one last push as Luna Perez goes hard in the paint for 2, but El Dorado is looking to the future as Morgan Klein looks down court for a wide-open Madison Smalley, and that'll do it. El Dorado evens its record at 2-2 Tuesday with a 42-25 win.
This season, Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
In this week's Service Champion Student Spotlight, we feature Stephanie Ramirez from Golden Valley High School. Stephanie does a lot of work for her school, helping freshmen get acclimated to Golden Valley by teaching them how to make the most of their high school experience. Stephanie teaches the freshmen about clubs, tutoring, and other extracurriculars they can sign up for. Great job, Stephanie, in being a champion in service for your school. Coming up, Grant looks for its first NorCal title in 14 years.
Then you'll see the girls from Laguna Creek and Elk Grove on the pitch. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Grant is in the NorCal title game for the first time since 2008. The Pacers are the Cinderella team of the section this year after winning just one game last season. Grant is 10-2 this year with a shot at a NorCal and state title.
What a comeback. Samaj Mafuhart had a big game last week to bring home the section title and extend the Pacers season. Grant heading over to the East Bay to face undefeated El Cerrito for the Division III AA NorCal title. The game played on Friday night.
The undefeated El Cerrito Gauchos entering the field taking on the Grant Pacers for the NorCal Division III AA game. Skipping ahead to the closing minutes of the first quarter, we are scoreless. That is until Michael Van Hook hits Kamani Jackson on the cross. 30-yard score for the Gauchos. It's 7-0 El Cerrito after 1. In the second quarter, the El Cerrito defense keeps the momentum on the Gauchos side. A huge hit and pass breakup from Jermaine Hargraves. But the Pacers would finish the drive in the end zone. Quarterback Joseph McCray keeps it. The O-line does a great job giving McCray a wide open lane. The Grant defense great from the very start. A pack of Pacers in on this sack. It starts with Antonio Bonds and ends with Gabe Moa. The Grant defense gets the stop, and here's the offense. McCray with lots of time to get rid of this. Kenyon Shabazz crossing the field, then crossing the goal line. Grant takes the lead 14-7 after a successful 2-point conversion. El Cerrito looking to respond. Van Hook looking around before finding Warren Smith. Big pickup for the Gauchos, who are now at midfield, but Vaughns with the hurry. Antonio forces the Gauchos QB to scramble, and ultimately he trips him up. Another stop for the Pacer D. McCray with a pass to Kyrell Goss-Pruitt in the flat. Hold up, Kyrell's got some speed. 60-yard touchdown for Goss-Pruitt, and it makes it a 22-7 game at the half. And Grant opens up scoring in the second half. Samaj Mafuhart, the handoff, finds the seam, enters the red zone after the 10-yard pickup. Joshua Hamilton finishes the drive in the end zone. The junior plows his way in. Grant just won't be denied this NorCal title. Mafuhart makes it a 29-point game with his first touchdown of the night in the fourth, and that would do it for the Pacers, who take home the Division III AA NorCal Championship. Grant will play for the state title at home against San Jacinto next week.
Back out to the NorCal Tip-Off Classic, this time over at Whitney High as the Wildcats hosted Rodriguez. First quarter in the Wildcats 3-ball was on point as Mason Marsh drills this corner pocket 3. And the Mustangs are off and running after this miss. Jarrell Victor up the floor to Gianni Miles, who gets hit, makes the shot, and the foul. Game tied at 12. Then it's Ian Gutierrez for Rodriguez pulling back and throwing up the long three. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know. Mustangs by 1. Here's another three by Victor as Miles drops his dime to Jurl, who deposits this 3 ball. Mustangs up 2. With time winding down in the second quarter, Whitney's Elijah Samdahl drives and kicks it out to the wing. That's Matt Schroeder. He's there to gather it and put it in. Wildcats by 2 at the half. Back and forth we go on this one. Mustangs Joseph Gold pulls up from long range. Silky smooth. This one goes down 29-28. Rodriguez back on top. Now Rodriguez on the run. Victor up to Miles, who scores the layup. Mustangs lead by 2. Late in the third, Whitney pushing the pace. Jordan Hurtado scores it. Cats by 3 now. Right before the quarter ends, Hurtado finds Marsh in the corner, and again his 3 ball is true. 47-41 Whitney after 3. Here's Phoenix Rose for Wildcats using the screen and taking it to the rack. He's not afraid. Little body, it's all good. Cats up 10. Rodriguez cuts that to 6 as Miles to Victor, and he lays it in for the Mustangs. It's now an 8-point game when what you talking about? Eli Willis scores this one. Then it's back up to what you talking about? Doing it again. To the rack, off the dribble, gets the hoop and the foul. Willis had it going on. Eli scored 17 in the contest, and Whitney takes the victory.
Brian Mueller in Elk Grove Tuesday night. It's the season opener for both the Thundering Herd and Laguna Creek. First half, the Cardinals' Jaden Pittinger playing some bully ball here and gets the steal. Can't get it past the keeper, but her friend Kaylee Eddy is there to put in the rebound. 1-0 Laguna 16 minutes in. The Thundering Herd trying to answer later in the half, but it takes a lot to get it past keeper Celeste Craighead. Still in the first. Here comes Eddy again looking for goal number 2. She beats the keeper, has a wide open net until Lauren Proom comes flying in to make the goal-saving block. But just 5 minutes later, the Cards are right back at it. Pittinger was denied on her first shot, but she places this one perfectly on the left side, and Laguna Creek has a 2-0 lead. To the second half now, the Thundering Herd get rumbling. Izzy Dawson shields the ball and rips one in to cut the lead in half. But the Cards counter. Eddy with goal number 2 off a turnover, and Laguna Creek has a 3-1 lead with 10 minutes left. Same score in the final minute. Reagan Bandy crosses it to Eddy, and there it is, a hat trick for the senior. Laguna Creek opens the season strong with a 4-1 win.
Each week we showcase a top recruit from the Sac-Joaquin section, highlighting athletes getting lots of attention from top colleges.
This week's top recruit is Walker Lyons from Folsom. The Bulldogs tight end has 33 offers from top Division I schools and is back on the market after decommitting from Stanford last week. The list includes offers from other Pac-12 schools and also the SEC and ACC.
Coming up, our second SunPower Electric game, Escalon plays Pleasant Valley at Chico for the NorCal Crown.
Then it's Foothill and San Juan in girls basketball. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. We'll be right back.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Tim never leaves his wife's side. But since junk sleep gave him a crick in his neck,
who's there?
He can't turn his head to see her. Now he's convinced she's left him.
Michelle?
Only our Love Your Mattress guarantee gets you the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it.
You came back.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF9ers, we just win. SF9ers, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
Escalon earning getting a shot at a NorCal title after taking home the Division 5 section title. The Cougars hit a rough patch early in the league season, but are now riding an 8-game winning streak.
Receiver Owen Nash was fantastic in the section title game, catching 2 touchdowns and tallying up 140 receiving yards. But the team is loaded with talent, as our Brian Mueller will tell us. He's in Escalon for the Division 4 AA NorCal title game and our second SunPower Electric game.
Electric game.
Robert and Aubrey, as sure as there is Black Friday and Cyber Monday during the holiday season, Escalon football will be playing this time of year, at least in recent history. The Cougars haven't missed a state bowl game since 2018. Now, it was a close call a week ago against Sonora. Now, Friday night in our SunPower Electric game, they will face a Pleasant Valley team that likes to keep things on the ground. Matt Kinoshita leads that rushing attack for the Vikings, who are averaging around 25 points a game. For Escalon, you heard about Owen Nash's big game, but how about QB Donovan Rosevink? He only threw the ball 16 times, but for 248 yards. That's over 27 yards per attempt. Escalon trying to get back to the state title game for the first time since 2019 when they won it all. And the Cougars are setting the tone early. Riker Peters lowers the boom on this first down run in the first minute of the game. A couple plays later, it's Rosevink to Nash, the senior sidestepping his way in for the score, and it's 7-0. The Vikings cruising on their first drive inside the 5, but the ball is loose. The Cougars pounce on it. Tate Christensen at the bottom of the pile with the recovery. Escalon can't turn it into points, but still an important stop. Same score second quarter. Rosevink going for Nash again. It's deflected in the air, and somehow Nash grabs the ball, stays in bounds for one of the best catches of the year. That would set up another Rosevink touchdown toss, this one to Logan Anderson, and it's 14-0. Final 2 minutes of the half. Rosevink continuing his aerial assault. This time it's Talon Reeder on the other end. He almost gets into the end zone. Anderson would finish off the drive with a rushing score to make it 21-0. But the Vikings would not go quietly into the half. Bryson McFall goes right up the middle on the return and straight up outruns everyone. That would make it 21-7 at halftime. Third quarter, Pleasant Grove backed up near their goal line, and the Cougar D comes up with another big turnover, but on the other side of the field, Jamin Miller on the recovery. After a 15-yard penalty, Escalon is at the 21, but that's no problem for Mr. Anderson. He scoots in for another score, his third of the night, and he's providing you with a reminder in case you forgot. Then later in the quarter, Peters with another punishing run. He went over 2,000 yards on the season in this game, and Escalon wins it 42-20. They will host Northwood for the state title Saturday night.
This is so incredible, and our team knew what we were going into, and we faced every bit of adversity through the season, and it proved and showed through this game. And in the second half, we went through it, and we played our best.
Reporting in Escalon for the SunPower Electric game, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Hey, 49ers Sac-Hi sports fan, or just the guy that likes the football team. Either way, we'll take it as Foothill visited San Juan. First quarter, some nice outside shooting by both teams. Here's Kylie Johnson finding Juanita Gallo for the Spartans. Then it's Kylie Wade of Foothill finding Angelique Abuda, and she knocks down the J. It's back and forth early on. Check out this shot and how the heck did Arienza Watson get this one to go in? Kind of a sideways looking hook shot or something like that. Anyways, Foothill goes on a nice second quarter run here when Abuda finds Wade, who drills this three-pointer. Mustangs go up 9. And San Juan cuts Foothill's lead down to 1 when Gallo finds Johnson, who goes hard to the hoop and gets the bucket using the glass. The backboard's your friend, kids, if you're watching at home. Then San Juan takes the lead here as Johnson to Malia Coulter down low. She knows how to score that one. Spartans lead it by 1. Then Flamita Brambilla finds Kira Davis making a cut to the hoop. Her basket is good for a three-point play. Foothill up 6. Heads up play here by Abuda here as she throws a full court pass to Wade, who's underneath the hoop. It's all good. Mustangs are looking really good now. With time winding down, Foothill's Brambilla throws up the high arcing shot. Nothing but net, and that would do it as the Mustangs win on the road by 11. Flamita leads all scorers with 14.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Trey Huber from Del Oro. Trey led the Golden Eagles in tackles this season with 85. He is also a leader in the classroom with a 4.25 GPA.
Coming up, Wood Creek takes on Lincoln in boys basketball.
Then we head to Mountain House where the Mustangs take on Tracy. This is 49ers Sac-Hi score. Wood Creek basketball comes into the week looking for its first win of the season. The Timberwolves lost an overtime thriller to Granite Bay to open up its season. Senior Austin Ito dropped 32 points in that game.
Wood Creek taking on a 5-0 Lincoln team Tuesday night. The Fighting Zebras won the Cameron Zabatino Memorial Classic Tournament to start their season. Lincoln will look for a 6-0 start against Wood Creek in Lincoln Tuesday night.
Wood Creek and the Gray Unis travel over to Lincoln to take on the Fighting Zebras and their 5-0 record to start the young season. It was the Timberwolves jumping out to an early 9-3 lead. Max Van Landingham taking it hard to the hoop, and he gets the foul for the three-point play, and Lincoln cuts into the T-Wolves lead. Sammy Teska finds Mateo Biaggi in the corner, and Biaggi gets the shooter's roll for the three. I want to show you this sequence here with time winding down the first. Tay Hollins puts on a blocking clinic, not one, not two, but three blocked shots within seconds, and he's able to keep the Wood Creek lead. Here's Benny Jomo in his third year with the big club, and Benny can score. The high arcing shot is in. Benny, a good one for Lincoln. When Van Landingham follows his missed shot and puts it back in, the T-Wolves and Zebras going to half, tied at 17. It's the third quarter now. The T-Wolves take an early second half lead as the two-sport star Isaac Hawthorne gets the hoop and the foul. Then Benny goes to work, driving to the hoop. Nice footwork here as he gets the defense to move just the right way, and then he attacks. Game tied at 22. Then it's Austin Ito find Hawthorne, top of the key, and he gets the jumper to go in. The Santa Clara baseball commit doing some work on the hardwood as well. With time winding down the third, Austin Ito goes to work, driving through the lane, throws up the shot off the glass and in. It's now a 12-point lead for the Wood Creek. Fourth quarter now, here comes Sammy for the Zebras, driving and scoring 2 of his 9 points in the game. Nice court vision and pass by Hollins, who sees Brody Krupp down low, and he scores it off the glass. Wood Creek goes up 15. One more time, Ito getting to the cup with ease here as the Timberwolves from Wood Creek go on the road and pick up their first victory of the season, 49-33. Ito with 16 and Benny had 14 for Lincoln.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way. The Tracy Bulldogs heading a town over to take on Mountain House in an early season matchup Tuesday night. The Mustangs out with a hot start. Isaiah Chenier to Gabriel Williams. Some back and forth before Isaiah drives to the rack. Nice finish there. Then it's E.J. Campbell hitting back-to-back threes. The House with a 14-6 lead after one. In the second, Japri Jameson cuts into that Mustang lead with a shot from long. Then it's Isaac Brooks with the dish to Shane Simpson. Simpson for three. Tracy makes it a 2-point game at the break. Second half, DJ Jones drives from the wing and lands a gorgeous fade, but Campbell with another of his 3 threes on the night. No look pass from Chenier, and we are back to a 7-point game. Then watch the nice finish at the rack for EJ. Team high 19 on the night for Campbell. Our good friend Roy Gardner Jr. getting in on the 3-ball action as well. A wide open shot off the inbound pass. Tracy needing to cut into the Mustangs' 13-point lead in the fourth. Lars Linders, the freshman, showing his moves, driving from the top of the key and getting the physical lay-in to go. Brooks then with the cleanup. Good D from Thurmond Thorpe. Brooks gives it to Jones and DJ gets it in. It's an 8-point game with 4 minutes left. Malcolm Akamian cleans up the shot, goes in for the hook. The Mountain House defense buckling down, though. Here is a big-time denial from Orlando Siff. Then Chenier finishes off our highlights, taking the full court pass from Campbell and landing the impossible lay-in for the 3-point play. 61-52 the final score in Mountain House. The Mustangs improved to 2-0 on the year with the 19-point game from Campbell.
Out to Roseville, got some boys soccer on the pitch, and well, it's game 1 for both Lincoln and Roseville. The Zebras are in white. Free kick for Roseville in the opening minutes, and the Tigers get on the board first. Gabriel Perez boots it in. He keeping the ball low as it skips past everybody in the goal. Lincoln answers right back moments later as Zach Giles booting this 30-yard ball downfield. Robbie Lloyd, he gathers it and slips it past the keeper. We're all tied up at 1. 1 minute later, Roseville takes the lead back as James Crawford is streaking out of the sidelines, crosses it inside the box to Andrew Kimball, who's there to redirect the kick in. Tigers lead it 2-1. 13 minutes later, the Fighting Zebras respond. This time it's Lloyd finding Giles open. Zach making a run and scores it with his left foot, and this game's tied up at 2. Giles will be playing ball at Sac State next fall. Late first half sloppy play here for Roseville leads to another goal for Lincoln. Giles is right there, and you can't leave him wide open like that. 3-2 Zebras. It was a tale of two halves. Lots of scoring in the first half and plenty of near misses and good goalie play in the second. Here's Lincoln's Elvis Bolanos with a stop. Roseville with another chance to tie this thing up, but the shot by Crawford is high and off the crossbar, and that would do it. The Zebras from Lincoln take the match 3-2. Giles leads the team with 2 goals for the Zebras.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ersachisports.com to order entire game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter.
Coming up, we'll choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, maybe not.
But first, take a look at our final Sac Joaquin section top 10 football poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We are back to announce tonight's play of the week.
Our Mark Willis will list off a few contenders and then announce the winner of this week's play of the week.
Play of the week. It's Mark Lavernoff of Rockland. They follow dunk for the Thunder, but Jackson Gant, his teammate, makes his defender fall. That was nice, but you got to finish the deal, and he does with the 3. Then Folsom's Austin Mack throwing this deep pass down the sidelines to Brian Ray III with a fantastic over-the-shoulder catch. But this other NorCal championship game was one better. The concentration by Owen Nash, who stays with it even with 2 defenders on him. They can't stop him. Game-winning touchdown last week and a play of the week catch this week. Owen, what's next for you?
That's the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thank you for watching. I am Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. Join us next week as we finish off the fall sports season by introducing our Players of the Year. It'll be an exciting show. Make sure to tune in. We'll see you there.